22 something Sunday, 13, 22, 13 Sunday, 28th of this month. Not only the small heart of this figure of the postcards that I have again summarize some of the main values that are from the albums 92 London, but also two small tapes from the Sony dictation system that I have buying, with namely conversation about evolution of China in the 90s, and sex lies and videotapes. There was a recording of this interview of sex lies and videotapes with Ted Kennedy, Dead, Olaf Palmer, and Zanya. They were there. I have just remarked by also a display on the street yesterday when I went out, sending Alcantara the heart, a big heart on the card, reddish as the one in small in wood from this Flaming June figure of the postcards that I buy in London. It's also a violoncelle matter that is on the table by Japan Tsunami, namely. And I qualify vandalism. And these two small tapes, there was already an insistence in this last week online about the notes, which is a machine to dictate that have apparently by connection internet, the translation to text, whatever. I was asking why this is appearing so with so insistent this whatever advertising. And I just remark now that these two tapes has been stolen also. O resto facas. The old historic of Venezuela image that I saw and I have commented and even asked if it is true or not by the mystification of sick television in one of the headlines. All the distraction, don't even understanding by the formulation of all Venezuela, all the city, all what, which is a crime, first of all. I have the care also to erase from my history, but there's a reference that I have posted, there's an earthquake here also, and there's a flight on France fall, Calais, I have spoken about Calais, as you remember. Or can check on these last videos by the boat, trip to Algarve, and Carizac and Varafoquis and so on, that was already on the scenario. And I have now a man that is economist on the concurrence department of the Nazi European committees, Portuguese one, that seems Cavaco Silva. When I see him, it's Cavaco Silva, it's Sósia. Speaking about Draghi, we have Metzola here in whatever Cascais. We have Ursula playing whatever deliverance or exchange or the protection of Taliban here or Taliban, whatever, with this provocation criminal of Zelensky and Antonio Costa in the day before. And he speaks about the Draghi report on China. What have you been told this now to erase this rubber of this analysis in the 90s about how it was previsible the growing of China in productive and commerce in worldwide square, or the part of the sex lies and videotapes, concerning these three deaths. Or rest this focus that I've published now about this smaller check yesterday or today morning on Algarve. I suppose it's not far away from Martinhal. If it's not Martinhal, the photo, but they do not say it. They say between Cyprus and Lago. Actually, it was on my comment after Cyprus turning on this sailing boat that is on the table by this construction from America with Clinton and Jackson, Michael Jackson, and the giraffe fellows, because they appear here recently, some days ago on the interior of a small boat that remembers me this boat, carries Isaac. At the same time, a piece of Faki and so on and so on. All these mambo jumbos, as always, disguise these. And to have these consequences, seems. We have been here to rob. Are you here to rob these documents? Concerning the registers of this conference on Calvario Videotech with Zanya and the psychologists of North. It appears also the man of also the same film. One of these days, like a dog, with all these crimes of induction, issue, by exchange, by illegal access, through for the following are crime, and projections in spirit about sex and whatever, resultants in fine, in livramento, with these connections with the boat of Sagres, representation, and the connections by extension with Japan and 9/11. Are you playing games with whom, fucker? Here, Metzola to do these crimes of robbery? You know why? Because Gabriela Boita Flores, which is I suppose, the spouse or whatever of this other dog of North, that I have recently remembered some facts concerning this colloquy of sex lies and videotapes. I have saw once her during this crime on, can you figure, LX's, the library, or where now is or was the library of this Italian group that is here in Lisbon. And you have, in the context of an accusation there, that I was stealing a book. At the same time that after you have built with her and others on the street of three names on of book antiquaries and objects and so on, apparently looking for a book of rituals. It's a very old line, I will explain. Is this by chance, Lady Incumbent Metzola of Hell? Are you protecting whom? The political careers of Draghi's chiefs with men that appears now that works on an institution of Europe that seems Cavaco Silva? What is this fucking perverted game, fuckers? International capture against the figures of the Portuguese state by these reasons of these stealings in this context, apparently of tragedies. This dossier was also there were the tapes, and has been here on my office for 2 days. And there's a draw of a variation of these that is missing, that have a cross. You know what is this? The representation of one of the structures of the Great Wave, this one concerning the presence of Vatican here. They have built also a superstructure with the representation of the wave, the third public one that we have here. And there was a cross here, draw, that is not anymore. Then, or they take some other paper with this draw or equivalent, or have they fake it and take it away, or whatever it is the intention. Or is the court who issue a mandate of capture against the Portuguese government because they allowed all the days these crimes? Display of the heart on the Capitão Palace, nearby this house that you have burned on this whatever membo-jumbo illusion of other subjects concerning Cravinho and Marcelo in Ukraine. And Zelensky was also present here with Ursula and Costa. Just the day before, if I remember well, and after the first appearance of him with false tongues, with smiling and laughing almost on this provocation of Nazis, thieves of shades and murders. I suppose Zelenka must be here by the photo. We never even know this by sure, by the constant crimes that goes on public communication space that serve all these thieves and terrorists of state. Then there was this heart representation when I was descending, and this family from the Yellow House, it's a team from 95, I'm repeating it because I've just commented on the previous video, from Antonio Guterres' time, election and the film of César Monteiro and questions of sexuality by the film Velos and Tsunami and the rest, or if the activities of framing by the rest of Tsunami, 2005, isn't it, fuckers? And they were entering the van they have, or she have a van or whatever, Picasso, whatever, with a face like this, like was something beast behind them. Perhaps the value, I realize now by discover these missing two small tapes of a Sony dictation that I have. They were already the first one that was stolen in the first years of this crime here. And these two, they perhaps they were saying, or they are the thieves, or they are saying that someone has run away with them. Why? By these values, these two tapes. One is the Sex and Lies videotapes conference with these three linked deaths, and the other is concerning China, a conversation between me and my cousin on my house at Torjón Rosa. This has been stolen, traffic to Draghi report of whatever by Socio Cavaco that belongs to these mumbo jumbo of authorities of concurrence, with the mumbo jumbo mounted now on these, on telecoms, without any sense other than crimes, with reference to my space of house of production in Latin Europa, in nearby the railway station at time, by the colon in cement, that you put on scene on these works on CC Amoreiras also, with graffitis in front of Meo shop and so on. As I gave the count, this last month is a very strange mix of facts. And after appears Cunha Rodrigues, from I suppose from this name, same family name, as procured that connects, by my point of view, even the questions of Project Iberic Spain time with a dead man also, a former president here, Sampaio. You are fucking Nazis and murderers. Present in the first news concerning Venezuela, 5 people dead from the island of this fucking Nazi that runs now against this republic and the constitutional charter and other laws, the charge of prime minister. That was the first reading news that I've read appears here on the Venezuela tragedy. And already with the historic disappeared, with these images that I have commented by other values concerning even Turkey, 2025, 25,000 kills on earthquake and sick manipulations and cover news and whatever. Fucking fuckers, terrorists of state.